This week's incarnon rotation allows you to farm one of the best secondaries in Warframe called the incarnon dual Toxocyst. In line with this, I decided to make an updated build for this pistol, not just because it's farmable right now, but there were a couple of changes from the recent update which involves nerfs to some of the setup for the incarnon dual Toxocyst. This video is all about getting the highest potential damage for the gun, and I will also talk about why I consider this gun as one of the best solo weapons in Warframe right now. So first, I want to discuss what changed after the April update, which was Dante Unbound. I think it's one of the hot fixes of Dante Unbound that made one insanely good synergy of the incarnon dual Toxocyst obsolete right now. I'm talking about the primary obstruct arcane and how it makes the dual Toxocyst an extremely efficient weapon. In case you don't know, primary obstruct was used in weapons such as the Ferox or the Scourge Prime, modded with magnetic elements to somehow get the same crowd control effect from Mace's shooting gallery. The magnetic status on the mentioned primary weapons will aid in jamming the guns of enemies, stun locking them for a couple seconds. It was even crazy when paired with slow status such as cold, as the stun lock extends and allows you to headshot enemies flawlessly using the dual Toxocyst. This doesn't just allow you to transform the weapon fast, but it's a great counter to enemies with overguard, such as Eximus units or even those Thrax units we often encounter in the Void Cascade mission. With a primary obstruct combined with the incarnon dual Toxocyst, you can easily transform the pistol into its incarnon state, and making it the primary weapon for killing even high-level Thrax units in Endurance Void Cascade. Sadly, the synergy is gone right now and only usable with trash mob units or those enemies with no overguard. It's still decent when it comes to crowd control and landing those headshots to stack your incarnon charges, but it loses its reliability when it comes to high-level gameplay while using the incarnon dual Toxocyst. Without the combo though, the gun is still one of the best hard-hitting weapons in the game, and if you don't have the weapon, I highly advise that you should farm it right now while its incarnon adapter is still available in the Steel Path Duviri circuit. By the way, the dual Toxocyst blueprint can be found in the biolab in your dojo, and after purchasing the blueprint, you will need specific resources to craft it in your foundry. After that, you would need to equip the incarnon through Cavallero in the Zariman ship to unlock its evolved form. Speaking of evolved form, let's talk about what perks I have chosen, and let's start first with the 4th evolution. In this case, I picked Commodore's Fortune for the increase in critical chance. The dual Toxocyst is heavy with status chance, and in fact, status will be its primary source of damage increase, which we will talk later. With just the pure boost of status chance from the evolved form, plus the mods I equipped, the weapon can gain over 150% status chance on its incarnon form. Hence, it would be great to further increase its DPS through critical chance. Anyway, the other perks are not that enticing, and I would rather rely on an old but gold critical chance bonus. For its 3rd evolution, I picked Marksman Hand for the negative weapon recoil. I pair this with the Steady Hands mod to completely remove the recoil of the gun, allowing me to somehow get those constant headshots to build up incarnon charges. And finally, let's talk about the 2nd evolution, which I think is the most crucial part in boosting the damage of the incarnon dual Toxocyst. For this evolution, it's a no-brainer to pick the Carnage Rain, which grants 33% direct damage per status type affecting the target. Now, we have talked about how insane the status chance of incarnon dual Toxocyst, and we can pair this with the secondary encumber to proc multiple statuses on its incarnon form. Not to mention that Galvanized Shot will also benefit from the multiple status proc to enemies, increasing your overall damage with the gun. Now, I know you might say that there are easier setups to get damage through arcanes like the secondary Deadhead or the secondary Merciless, but the secondary Encumber gives the highest damage potential for the gun. With the high fire rate and insane status chance of the build, you can proc 13 unique statuses almost every time, within 2 seconds of shooting the incarnon form of the dual pistol. The weapon becomes an absolute shredder, and it gets better if you can apply Viral on the pistol without modding for the set element. To do this, you must rely on the Nourish ability to imbue the Viral proc to the incarnon dual Toxocyst. This gives you the option to mod for corrosive and heat. And then you can put 2 Emerald Archon Shard in your build to increase the corrosive stack to 14, allowing you to fully strip the armor of enemies. So far, this setup yields the highest possible damage boost for the gun, and it completely melts any enemies that you encounter. The best part is you can further improve the overall DPS of the setup with a Riven mod, and the incarnon dual Toxocyst has a very high Riven disposition that you can get an insane critical chance, critical damage, and multi-shot stats, which are the best, in my opinion, to further improve the damage output of this gun. Lastly, I would like to talk about a weird change that I experienced while using this gun with the Sada's Whisper subsumability. In the past, I was using this synergy with Ivara for the headshot multiplier on her prowl ability paired with the easy headshots that the bullet attractor of Sada's Whisper can give, along with the void damage and the additional damage instant it can give, which increases the overall damage of the gun. Right now, I highly advise that you step away from any Sada's Whisper build using the incarnon weapon, as instead of constant headshots, Sada's Whisper seems to prioritize aiming for body shots and decreasing the effectiveness of the incarnon dual Toxocyst. It's better to rely on your skill or grouping abilities like Ensnare or Harrow's Condemn to stun locked enemies in place for easier headshots. And lastly, I think this incarnon weapon is better used in solo plays. This is just my opinion, but sometimes it would be harder to compete for kills when other players are using meta weapons such as the incarnon Torrid. While you are stuck with acquiring incarnon charges through headshots, your team with incarnon Torrid is already melting enemies. I think the right word is that it's more fun to play incarnon dual Toxocyst in solo plays as you get to enjoy the full potential of the weapon. In addition, it's really fun to use in Void Cascade, owning those Thrax units with the insane DPS that this gun provides. If only Digital Extremes did not remove the interaction of primary obstruct, then it will be much easier to take down Thrax units with the incarnon dual Toxocyst. But then again, getting headshots is just a skill issue, and if you can constantly do it without relying on other sources such as stun lock features, then you will love incarnon dual Toxocyst more. So that's all about it. I hope that you have learned something again from this video. Before leaving, I humbly ask for your support by simply liking this video and sharing it with your friends. Also, please subscribe to our channel to help us grow even more. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope to see you again in our next video. Squad Leader, signing off.